Good afternoon, family. It is February 1st. Time flies, right? It is February 1st, 2023. And I'm coming before you again. I just finished watching the Tyree Nichols homegoing service. And I'm sure, like myself, many of you have cried some tears and just wondered, if you have children, what if this was your child? What if this was your situation? And for me, again, as you're getting to know me, while thank God the police didn't kill me, they sure did do enough to damage me for the rest of my life. I was at a doctor's appointment on this past Monday because of some issues I've been having, and they diagnosed me with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from what has happened to me and my children. As they get older, I get older, and I know what the police did to them. My children were afraid to even walk in their own community. My children were afraid every time they saw police. They ducked down in the car because of the trauma of police. And it kind of hurts even worse when it's your own kind, as Reverend Al Sharpton spoke about what Dr. Martin Luther King did to have open doors for us to be able to go into some places and do some things, to have more, to have better. And yet we bastardize that. We mistreat that opportunity to kill someone who had done absolutely nothing in the case of this young man. And so, again, my job is I'm trying to be consistent with all of this social media stuff, but I know that in this day and age that we live, somebody is going to at some point see that, yes, I wasn't killed, but I have the scars, the wounds, to show the damage, the 2 surgeries that I've had, the therapy that I continue to have to be in, and now the doctors are telling me that they are afraid to even go back in to fix more of what's causing me problems now, because of the more harm it could possibly do. But then that also puts me on medications for pain and all of those different things. And that's nothing to the psychological damage that has been done to me and my children. But thank God for Jesus. I just wanted to show you a few things, and then I'm going to read some things to you on today. But this is a piece of when they did our second eviction, they surrounded the house with actual police tape. You see this, sheriffs do not come through. This is what they had my house wrapped around with a tree. And now, when have you seen an eviction like that? And so that's just evidence, and you'll find some of that in the book. But I wanted to read this to you. This is Prince George's County, Maryland Office of Finance Property Tax Inquiry Sheet. I'm sure some of you have possibly seen this at one point or another. This says that Prince George's County real property tax information for FY year, fiscal year 2011, tax period of July 1st through the 10th through June, June 30th, 2011. The Prince George's County land records shows that, again, this is 2011, we're in 2023, that in 2011, my name was still down as the rightful owner of said property. It says owner Sharon, McIver Sharon, again, my married name, and what the address is, and the mortgage is unknown because it had been paid off, remember, in 2004. And then it has the property description and things of that nature. But what I wanted you to see is that, again, here on the paper of the site of the county at that time, it had clearly that I was the owner of that property. Here is a letter from the bank that had the loan at that time, December 6, 2010. Sharon Harley McIver, the address, the account number of my loan. It says, thank you for contacting the bank We truly appreciate your business. The bank services to provide courteous, professional, and accurate customer service. This letter is to inform you that the above reference account is closed as of September 9th, 2004. And then it says if you have any further questions, to please call them at the bank. Remember, I read to you last week the certificate of satisfaction that was sent from the bank on what day? That was September in 2004. This is the same date, amen, as 2000, amen, of September 2004. So again, clearly I own this property, and the corruption of crooked cops, as I may have mentioned to you before, one cop that came up to the home said to me at one point, well, our chief of the police said not to help you because I know that I don't own my home. Well, that's not so. Here is when the people that were trying to take the home had their own abstractor. That's somebody to investigate the history of the property. They're trying to say that I was foreclosed on, I should be out of the house. He put here, and I put please make larger so they could see it, but you'll see this asterisk here. He makes a note here. Here's what his note reads. It says preliminary report. I still need to review foreclosure case property assessed in name of Sharon McIver, and that was 12 December 2007. He said that there is no foreclosure, and so that there's none that he can find. So the people that would cause me to be thrown in jail and roughed up, they are the very people they knew that they didn't have any rights to that home, but instead they went on to do what they did to me. And I want to make it clear, I want to make it really, really clear, this is not about a situation of me wanting a home back as much as it is to bring justice, because these things are still happening, and if it hasn't happened to you already, you might know somebody that it has happened to, but it's not going anywhere. The same way Rem Al Sharpton brought up Dr. Martin Luther King and what he had done and why he did the things to make sure we would have opportunities. Let me be clear. Racism has not gone away. Black on black racism, and I hope you know that exists, has not gone away. These things are still happening. They just come in different forms, because the people on the front end that I do know, they were black. Two of them. There's former sheriff Michael Jackson, and a gentleman who went to jail, Jack Johnson, who was the state's attorney at that time, would come to my church where I was at the time and walk with me, trying to convince me to leave my house instead of doing the right thing to stop the fraud and corruption that was going on. So again, my thing is for what is right, righteous, and just, because until someone raises the flag to say it's still going on in the 21st century, things happen that should not be happening. We talk about the American dream, but what good is the American dream if you can't even let your children? I was petrified every time my boys went out. Now, and I had one that's really, really light-skinned. You would think that is Caucasian. The older boy will always say, hey, go walk with me, because he felt he was safe if he had his younger brother. These things ought not be happening. You get the American dream, but it's in a predominantly Caucasian community. You get these things happening. That's what happened. We were the first black family to move on in this community on that particular street. I want justice, because there are things that cannot happen for, or difficult for me to do for my life, and my children mentally and emotionally will never be the same for the damage that's been done to us. So this is about what's right, righteous, and just, so that it never happens to anybody else. Because if it doesn't get taken care of now, one more person is going to go down. Why? When we're all working really hard to have what's rightfully ours. I did things the right way. My children had no part in this, and yet they bear the scars of what has happened, because their mother wasn't able to be present to them when she should have been able to. So I'm ready for the phone calls. anyone that wants to talk and actually be serious about this situation. God bless you.